Welcome back to The Explainer. All right, this is it, the fifth and final part of our series, and we're asking a question that, honestly, could save your company millions. Can you really trust the IT research you're basing your biggest decisions on? We're about to wrap up our deep dive into the fantastic report from Virtualization Options LLC, Integrity Under Siege, and find out.
So, just imagine for a second you're in that boardroom. You're about to sign off on a massive tech investment, and your entire decision hinges on a stack of industry reports. You feel confident, right? Like you've done your due diligence. But, and this is the thing we've been exploring this whole series, what if that research was just a carefully crafted sales pitch in disguise? And this really gets to the core of the issue we've been unpacking. On one hand, you have the promise. These reports are supposed to be objective guides to help you navigate incredibly complex technology. But on the other hand, you've got the peril. They're often just marketing materials dressed up to look like impartial research. That's a huge red flag, and it's exactly where things start to get murky. So, just how deep does this problem actually go? Well, according to the Integrity Under Siege report, this isn't about a few bad apples spoiling the bunch. The bias is literally built into the foundation of the sponsored research industry. It's a structural conflict.
I mean, it's a classic conflict of interest. Think about it. Would you trust a restaurant review if you found out the restaurant's owner wrote it? No way. It's the exact same principle here. When a company is funding a study about its own products, you really have to question the objectivity of whatever they find.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Who is this research really for? Is it meant to inform you, the public, or is it just a marketing tool for the sponsor? You see, the moment a sponsor can influence the narrative, the entire integrity of the research is put at risk.
Okay, so how do they actually do it? Well, the influence isn't always obvious. It's usually a much more subtle, behind-the-scenes kind of thing that starts long before a single word of the report is ever written. So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
It all starts with what is basically a rigged game. First, they set the priorities. The research questions are handpicked to make sure the outcome is going to be favorable. Then comes topic suppression. Anything that could be even a little bit critical or negative, yeah, that just gets ignored or defunded. And the result? You get a skewed public record, a body of research that's been carefully curated to tell only one side of the story.
And this is what you end up with. A scary-sounding statistic that's designed to grab your attention and, you guessed it, sell you a solution. This number didn't just come out of thin air. It's the end result of that whole rigged game we just talked about. It's selective data, all packaged up to look like objective truth.
So how can you actually spot the bias? Well, here's a quick checklist. Look for cherry-picked data that seems to only tell one side of the story. Be really wary of reports where the sponsor has contractual rights to approve the findings before they're published. And always, always question a glowing review from an independent expert who just so happens to be getting paid by the sponsor.
You know, all of these tactics, they have a cumulative effect. They slowly chip away at the credibility of the entire research landscape, and they leave all of us in this kind of fog of uncertainty. When you can't even tell the difference between a real research report and a marketing brochure, who are you supposed to trust?
And this is the real danger. When the whole research agenda is driven by sales targets, we end up with these huge, dangerous blind spots. We might get a dozen reports on the awesome ROI of a new piece of software, but hear absolute crickets on its potential security vulnerabilities. And that is just a recipe for disaster.
So, now that you can see the strings being pulled, what's the big takeaway from our series? It's not that all sponsored research is junk, because it's not. But it is a call for all of us to be much more discerning consumers of information. The next time you see one of those headline-grabbing reports, just ask yourself, who's behind this and what's their angle? By demanding more transparency and a higher standard of integrity, we can all help create a research landscape that's a whole lot more trustworthy.